Happy Monday morning. You got Juan and the boys, they're starting slab prep on 25-26. Got our boys from HB Next. They are running silt fence along the back lot line in the preserve. We got the slab prep material arriving for Juan. He's gonna do a U-turn. Gotta inspect 58, 59. All the metal straps, that's called tie downs. So I inspect it first, and if it's ready, I'll call it in for inspection tomorrow. We already passed the roof sheathing, the wall sheathing, shear wall, firewall, that's all been passed. And now we're basically ready for the plumber to come in and start his stuff. But then I just gotta make sure it's ready for the inspector. It's sloppy superintendenting if you don't check ahead of the inspector, because then he shows up and say he finds a whole bunch of stuff missing. He thinks you're a chucklehead. That's not good. 21, 22, waiting for the trusses. 19, 20, framers are still inside, finishing up. Potentially we can go for roof sheathing, wall sheathing, firewall, all that stuff tomorrow's. And if we pass then I can dry in the roof. I mean, technically I can dry it in now. There's nothing to hold that up, but I never do that. The reason is, if we find loose sheathing, if I dry it in and I find loose sheathing, then I have to have the framer come back, rip off the dry off where the said plywood is, and re-nail it, and then call him back, the roofer, and re-dry that in. It ain't even worth it. It's just not even worth it. Wait till we pass the inspection is what I do. We got Ronnie, who did the HVAC rough at 17, 18. He's now at 15, 16. That's day one there. And 62, 63, I gotta walk through here, make sure we're ready for the all rough inspection. I gotta have electrician come back and because part of the inspection is I have to have the gas line bonded or grounded to earth. So as you can see right here, that is going to be the ground wire. It has to be attached to the gas line, and the electrician's got to do that. Over here, he's still got to run his bond wire over to here, and we have the gas roughs done in there. So he's got 4 that we got to get bonded, and then I got to verify we're holding pressure on the gas line, which we are. So I got to verify all things are ready and then call this in for all rough inspection. The process then goes, if you pass all rough, we can then start installing all the insulation, and that would be the Pink Panther type stuff, the stuff that rolls out like a big ribbon. That is, we call it batten insulation, or bats for short. They also put material up where the soffit is. You see that little daylight up there? They put material up there. So later when we do the blow-in insulation, it don't fall out and waste the product. Then we go for insulation inspection. Once we pass that, then we're allowed to proceed to sheetrock, and that's a major milestone. But you got to find, also you got to install these daggone windows. We have a third-party engineer. We call this inspection called a drainage plane inspection. So anything that penetrates the exterior of the home has to be treated in a certain way. And I put a little dot if it's done correctly, like there. Here's the pest tube stuff, little dot. This window's good, this outlet's good, that window's good, that window's good, hose bib's good, the 220 lines for the HVAC, it's all good. But of course, we're missing those window installs and trying to get an answer for that. Otherwise, hope you all had a good weekend. I got all my outlets marked and everything. And now I'm going to spend the rest of the morning going through the first 4 buildings that are pretty much roughed in and verify all the options. And this is the time to do it. I had an appointment early this morning, but I ain't got no more appointments the rest of the day other than, well, the slab inspection for 23, 24, that's on for today. Anticipate passing that, but I don't have to be with the inspector for that. Once the inspectors get a couple of these buildings, you know, they don't need me to hold their hands. Let's let them rock and roll, you know what I mean?